Assalamualaikum students. Today I am going to give you several spoken English tips. As we all know that English is an international language and everyone wants to speak English. Doesn't matter whatever his walk of life. Student, businessman, housewife or whatever. But everyone has to speak and everyone wants to speak English. But there are several techniques by applying that we can uplift, we can improve our spoken English ability. So let us start the proceeding with number 1 point. I say that basic tenses and modal verb. Now, if you don't have much vocabulary, much tenses, idea and other things, so you must have ability to know the basic tenses. When I talk about basic tenses, these are 12 basic tenses, and then modal verb can, could, should, may, might, must and their use. Because we all know these are the modal auxiliary, they indicate order, command, request, advice, suggestion and etc. And in daily routine, we just have to talk about these things. So, if you want to speak English and you don't have a lot of knowledge about English, so you try to get complete hold of these 12 tenses and 9 modal auxiliary, and the other thing is modal plus infinitive, mean have to, used to, about to. And these, if I just talk about these modal auxiliary, I don't think so that these are the difficult part of English. You can get complete hold of this content by practicing only 10 to 15 days. So if you want to speak English, just get the minimum level of English, and after that speak irrelevant. This is very important. Most of the time when we have the speaking practice on Skype, I talk to the student and I ask them any question. So they are unable to respond me because they think that they don't have much knowledge to speak about that respective topic. But here I would like to raise a point. I mean, when you are practicing about English, so your relevant area is not concerned. Whatever you want to say, doesn't matter if you are speaking irrelevant. But the most important thing is that you have to speak more and more. Doesn't matter if you are committing mistake, if you are not talking about the exact, you don't have exact knowledge about the issue. But the main and most important thing is that speak more and more. Doesn't matter even if it is irrelevant. Other point is that avoid yes no statement. When we have speaking practice, during that when I ask any question to my student, so for example, what have you been doing yesterday? So he will give me nothing. And if I will ask him, okay, what do you think, what will happen in Pakistan? So he says, sorry sir, I don't have idea. So you need to give long and descriptive answer if you want to have a good practice. So try to speak more and more. If any person, you are practicing and 2 person are in front of one another and you have to speak. So keep one thing in your mind that you have to speak more and more. Doesn't matter if you are speaking irrelevant, try to avoid yes no statement. You have to give at least complete and proper answer. If you don't have much knowledge, try to give at least complete answer. So this is an important thing. Other thing is that repeat your wrong sentences while speaking. Obviously, being an individual and being a human, we commit a lot of mistake. So when you commit any mistake, you need to repeat your mistake. Instead of that, you just skip it. For example, आपने कहना था yesterday I couldn't attend my class. कहना था कि कल मैं class attend नहीं कर सका. And in speaking, you are saying, sorry sir, I cannot attend class yesterday. I cannot attend class yesterday, and I am saying कि ये error है. I am just obstructing you. मैं रोक रहा हूँ. ऐसे में student क्या करता है? Yes, could आएगा, and आगे वो बढ़ जाता है. So you need to repeat your mistake while speaking. If you have practice, and the other person who is pointing out your mistake, so take a pause, think about your mistake, and then speak it once again, complete sentence instead of just skipping that point where you have committed the error. Other thing is that get sufficient vocabulary. As we all know that vocabulary is like a vast sea. No one can get complete hold of that sea. But here, if you want to speak English, so you must try to get sufficient and the minimum level of vocabulary which is related to your work. For example, if I am a teacher, I must have knowledge about the vocabulary which is related to my work. Same like that, a housewife, an engineer, a lawyer, or any other person who is related to his field, so he must have the sufficient and the minimum level of vocabulary about his work. I am not saying that he needs to remember and memorize and cram a whole dictionary, but try to get at least the minimum level of vocabulary which will help you in speaking. Other point is that grammar plus confidence. Most of the time people have a lot of knowledge about English, they have done a lot of big degrees in English, but when it comes to speaking, so they feel hesitation, they take pauses and they speak like that, I want to say, So what is the basic reason? Basic reason is that they feel hesitation. Most of the time when people come to me, they ask me, sir, we want to speak English, but we have only one problem, and that is the hesitation. Reason, they lack confidence. And reason, why are they lacking confidence? They don't have much vocabulary, they don't have much knowledge about the grammar. So if you want to increase your level and confidence level, so you need to get complete hold of grammar skill. This is for the advanced learner I am talking about, but you can also improve your grammar. I don't think so that it's very difficult. A lot of people have improved their grammar, and I think it hardly takes 3 to 4 months in which you can get complete hold of grammar portion. And when you will have a lot of knowledge about grammar, so you will never feel hesitation, because when you will have the knowledge about your grammar and you will be talking to any other person, so you will never feel hesitation, because you know if anyone asks you any question, so you can define each and every word of you. So that is why grammar is very important. Other thing is that enjoy margin of error. This is very interesting thing. Most of the time we feel hesitation, and the reason is that we think when we will speak, so we will commit an error. Most of the time this is the basic justification of the people which they deliver. They think that, sir, we can't speak because we think when we will speak, so we will speak wrong and people will make fun of us. So let me tell you one more thing there. In speaking, we have margin of committing error, because in speaking our basic objective is to convey our meaning. We are not supposed to write each and everything there. But when you are writing, so you need to be strictly relevant and correct, because this is like a proof. But in speaking, you just need to convey your opinion. If I am committing any error, so obviously I am not an native English speaker. English is not my mother tongue. Even those people who belong to this language, they commit error. So obviously we are not the English speaker, so we are not the native English speaker, so we can enjoy margin of error, and we just have to convey our meaning. If we are committing several mistakes, so enjoy that margin of error and stay relaxed. Nothing is going to happen there. Other point is that get some filler. Most of the time, if you feel that you don't have much vocabulary, and there in some part of the English you just get stuck and you don't have to speak any other word in the next moment, you don't know what you want to say, so you don't get the relevant word, you don't get relevant vocabulary and tense, and you all of a sudden you get stuck yourself. So at that time you need to get several fillers. By applying that, in the meantime when you speak these fillers are basically those words जो आप उस वक्त बोलते हैं जब आप stuck हो जाते हैं. For example, several people say, as you know that in the milliseconds of this clause, they think behind their mind and they think what they have to speak ahead. So get several fillers. For example, as far as XYZ is concerned, as far as following thing is concerned, I think, जहाँ तक इस चीज का ताल्लुक है, जब मैं ये जुमला बोल रहा हूँ, in the meantime I am thinking behind my mind what I have to speak. So get some filler instead of taking pauses. So that is the best practice as far as speaking is concerned. So alternative sentences. This is another point. You must have several techniques and you must have variety of sentences. It will bring some coherence and beauty in your speaking. So alternative sentences are very important in speaking. The next point is that talk with one who knows less. This is very important and interesting thing. How? Most of the time we feel hesitation when we have to speak before a group, or when we have to talk in front of a person who knows more as compared to us, and we know that, for example, any of my students who is talking to me, he feels a lot of hesitation. I ask them that do you feel hesitation when you talk with any other person, or do you just feel hesitation while speaking in front of me? So they say, sir, actually when we speak in front of you, so we feel hesitation. So the basic reason is that when we know the other person who is sitting or who is standing in front of us, who is listening us so keenly, who knows more as compared to us, so we feel hesitation. So the best practice is that try to grab a person who knows less and just start your practice with who knows less. In that way you will not feel hesitation, and you will have some sort of confidence that obviously if I am committing any mistake, so ye kaun sa janta hai, ye kaun si meri galti pakad lega. So basic point in this argument is that try to speak with a person who knows less. In that way you will get complete hold of confidence, which with other person you will know that person cannot point out your mistake. Other point is that discuss your favorite area. This is also important thing, that if you want to discuss, if you want to have speaking practice, so on which topic do you want to speak? This is important thing to decide about that respective topic on which you have to speak. Most of the time, for example, on Skype classes, in the speaking session, when I have to talk with the students, so basically my concern area, my field is related to politics, current affair and media. So I talk about these respective topics, but there are several females, they don't have much knowledge about this content, so they say, sir, kindly avoid this topic and discuss any other. So this is important thing, that if you are going to have the speaking practice, so the choice of topic is very important. The selection of topic is very important. Try to select the topic which is so lovely to you, which is really dear to you, and you know a lot of that topic. Either that is your hobby or that is your liking. It's up to you. But try to point out those topics which are really liked by you, and you think that these are the points in which point I have a lot of knowledge and I want to say a lot of things. Other thing is that try to corner yourself. This is a very important point and argument there, that बात औकात हम वहां पर इंग्लिश बोलना सीखते हैं जहां पर हम बहुत कुछ कहना चाहते हैं लेकिन हमें इजाजत नहीं होती. For example, if you are talking with another person and in the meantime you get a point which is very important to mention there, and you are feeling so much passionate to speak your point and convey your meaning. In the meantime आप अगले से इजाजत लेते हैं, ये point मैं उर्दू में बताना चाहूंगा. So उस point को ही जो आप उर्दू में बताना चाह रहे हैं वहीं पर आपने ब्रेक लगानी है. You need to corner yourself, and you are not supposed to speak that respective point which is so important for you. Try to speak that important point in English, because वही वो जुमला है जो आपको फोर्स करेगा आपकी जबान को, जहां से आपने इंग्लिश बोलनी है. कि आपको जब उस लेवल तक आ जाते हैं when you don't have any other point, when you don't have any other selection to speak that respective tense. So try to speak that important point in English. In that way you will really improve your speaking ability. I think and I wish by applying all these techniques you will obviously learn and improve a lot. And I am very hopeful those students who have completed their spoken English course at Skype, so they must have learned a lot and they will apply their technique and they will share their technique with their friends and colleagues. And I wish them really best of luck. Thank you very much.